Curtis Ferry here with the ultimateversionofyourself.com. I have a PN1 nutrition certification, and I have my own weight loss transformation story in that 10 years ago I lost 100 pounds and I've been able to keep it off. Today what I want to show you is part 2 of my salad prep. And what I'm going to do is actually cook up some chicken today. So what I want to share with you first is the rub recipe that I use to put on the chicken. This is it. It's an all-purpose rub. You can use this. I like it on like baked sweet potato fries. I like it on chicken. I like it on steak and fish and it works on just steamed vegetables as well. But basically it's a really simple recipe. There's 7 items that go into it, and so I'll start with the biggest items first. It'll take 2 tablespoons each of, not that, of the smoked paprika and 2 tablespoons of ground cumin. Then you would use a single tablespoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. Then you go down to a teaspoon each of cayenne pepper and salt. Okay, and I just have this. This is a spice bottle that had, I don't know, maybe Mrs. Dash or something in it, and I emptied it out. And when I was done with it, I used it for this. So I just take all of the spices and measure it out and pour it into here. It's careful. You got to be careful doing it because it kind of go everywhere. But put it all into here and then close the top up and shake it. Shake, 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 shake. It takes I don't know, 30 seconds maybe, and then it comes out and it looks like that, and it tastes doggone delicious is what it does, right? So that's how you make the rub. I'm going to put this out on my blog, so if you don't have the measurements, don't worry about that. I'll get them for you. So then I buy my chicken. This actually came from Sprouts, but I buy my chicken kind of in bulk. And I've got breasts here. I like boneless, skinless breasts to work with. If you like thighs, that's fine. If you want to do a whole chicken, you can do that, but I wouldn't use this technique that I'm going to show you. I would actually roast that chicken in the oven. So you just put the rub all over the chicken and roast it at 350, until it's 165, and then you'd be done. So for this chicken, if you have never worked with poultry, I'll tell you that there is a threat, right, for salmonella. So I'm going to use these gloves, and even if you're not using gloves, you want to just wash your hands all the time. So I've got most of this chicken cut up, as you can see here, and what it is basically just a kind of a 1-inch cube, right? But I wanted to show you how to do one. Let me get this kind of out of the way. So I'm just slicing it right like that. So I get a couple. And then go and slice it like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the closer that you can get these to being uniform, then of course the more evenly it's going to cook. So you don't want them just completely different than each other. You want them to be somewhat the same. So I'm trying to think of how long I've been making this chicken, When my wife and I first got together, we lived in a really, really small apartment in Irving, Texas. And there wasn't really enough room in the kitchen even for 2 people. So I would have to, we had to take shift work. And so I would do this part and Carrie would do some other parts, and it was just hilarious, right? Not having enough room to work. Fortunately for me now, I think I've got enough room to show you this, and I got a camera. Cats are smelling the chicken. Yeah, Mau Mau, you'll get your food later. Not for you. So now I've got all of the chicken cut up. So I'm going to kind of get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of one of the gloves so that I can handle this. And so what I'm going to do is just, man, and I'm, as you can see, I'm really generous with this rub. So I'm putting in, that was probably 3 tablespoons, you know, worth. And then I'm just going to work this. And you can see it's not really covered completely. So I'm going to go at it some more. Maybe another tablespoon. So I think I'm going to wind up, I mean, I just do this by eyeballing it and kind of, you know, by smell maybe a little bit. I want it to be covered pretty completely, right? So I'm going to use a little more. And I've used, probably a third of the bottle now, probably. So when I do, and this is 3, I think 3 1/4 pounds of chicken, so it's a lot of chicken. I try, you know, to do this to last 2 people for a week, right? Use a little more. And man, maybe I've gotten, you know, because I've been doing this for years, maybe I've gotten a little numb to the spice. So if that's the case, you know, maybe you try it with, you know, half or 3/4 of what I'm using now. See how you like it, and then add to it if you wish. So that's pretty much, it's done now, and that's pretty much the way that should look. You see how it's changed color, right? If I were to compare it, take this off. If I were to compare it to this chicken that's not seasoned at all, I'm sure you can see there's a pretty large difference in color, and there's going to be a really large difference in flavor as well. So now what I'm going to do is take this to a large skillet that I have over here. So we're back at the stove top now, and what I've done is I've just got some olive oil, you know, put it in the pan. A couple of tablespoons full really is plenty. And I've got my heat set to, I don't think you can see it, but it's set about medium. And I got a great big skillet. This is as big as I could find, because I'm going to try and do 3 pounds at once. If you don't have a skillet this big, don't try and do 3 pounds at once. Do it in 2 or more, right? Anyway, so I'm just going to put this in here and get the sizzle. So I'm spreading it out pretty even. I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold it up like this. See, it's kind of just even Steven. And I'm gonna let this go. First, what I'm gonna do is like kind of brown it. So I'll let it sit here for a couple minutes, let it brown on that side, flip it all over, let it brown on that side, and then I'm gonna let it just like cook for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna flip it over again, let it go for maybe another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna start checking it to see if it's done or not. So I don't want you to have to sit here and watch all that. So I'm gonna do a little time-lapse thing here and cut right now. Alright, so this actually has gone a little bit faster than I thought it would. It's been about 15 minutes. And you know, once I got it brown, and I could have done this because my pan will go into the oven. It has this silicone thing. I could have just finished it in the oven, and I think most chefs probably would you know, real life chefs would finish it in the oven instead of on the stovetop like this. But I think that most people aren't going to have a skillet that'll work in the oven, and so that's why I'm showing you do the whole, you know, how to do the whole thing on the stovetop. So to check if it's done, what I do is I find a biggest, you know, one of the bigger pieces, and I just poke it to cut it in half, and then I look at it, and I can see that there's no pink there, and then and if I taste it, oh my goodness, it's fluffy and done and delicious. So when I get to that point, I say, woohoo, it's done, right? So what I'm going to do now is pretty much just cut the heat and let this cool. Now, once it is cooled, what I'm going to do is, you know, back to the scale, right? Is I'm going to get some bags, just a regular, like a Ziploc bag. And for me and Carrie, my wife, I bag these at 2 ounces a piece. So what that allows me to do is have a protein snack, real food. I don't need to go make a shake. I can just go grab 2 ounces of this and get a good serving of protein. Or I can grab 2 bags and have 4 ounces, and that would be a full serving, you know, on my salads that I showed you in part 1. Or I can use that in various sundry ways as well. If I want to just nuke it and serve it with some other vegetables, steamed broccoli, or, you know, the baked sweet potato fries that I alluded to earlier, I could do that as well. So this allows me to have protein, goodness gracious, for, you know, quite a few meals. I may actually, I was thinking of just cutting it off right here, but I may go ahead and bag it up. And let's see how much it makes. It's 3.5 pounds. Wow, it should make, you know, quite a few 2 ounce bags. Anyway, if you like this, then by all means, please click the like button and subscribe. And there should be a link at the bottom that will take you to my blog, ultimateversionofyourself.com. I hope you'll use this chicken recipe, and I'll put the rub up, specifically this rub. One thing I think I forgot to mention that's really pretty important, and this is, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is smoked paprika, not just normal paprika, and you want to use smoked because that way it just gives it a really awesome smoky flavor. That combined with the cumin really makes it happen. So if you like this, please click like and share and do all the social things, right? Thanks for taking the time being here with me today. Curtis Farah for ultimateversionofyourself.com, signing off. Have a great day. Alright, so the chickens had a chance to cool, and once it was finished, I took the opportunity to bag it up in 2 ounce bags. So this is what a 2 ounce bag looks like, and if I count these up, it basically made 15 of these bags. Another good thing that I'd like to just state is these bags, they'll freeze just fine for a while, at least a month, right? So you don't have to just eat this chicken and eat the chicken, eat the chicken, eat the chicken. It'll last a week, maybe 2 weeks in the refrigerator, and at least a month to 6 months in the freezer. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make the chicken and bag the chicken. And thanks for your time. Have a great day. Bye.